Pragati, it seems the April 15th outage, which was the latest in a series of, outages as far as Kotak Mahindra Bank is concerned, was perhaps the last straw. And that really was the problem, isn't it? The whole system wouldn't work for customers.
Yeah. Right, Tamanna, you're absolutely right. So April 15 was just one of the first or one of the latest instances. But sources told us that these instances were actually very, very common and they were happening frequently over the last 2 or 3 years. And that was one of the reasons or concerns that the RBI had with the bank, apart from 4 others. But before we delve into that, I would like to inform our viewers this latest NDTV Profit exclusive that because after the RBI imposed curbs on the bank's new CEO, that is Mr. Ashok Vaswani, has also sent an email to the employees, and that's the latest exclusive that we have for you. Sources told us, in fact, we also reviewed a copy of the email that Mr. Vaswani wrote to the employees, and he said that there is a need of a better IT infrastructure because there has been an explosive growth in the business via all these channels, and that is the reason they need a completely different level of tech infra. In fact, he has also acknowledged the efforts of all Kotak employees, but he has said that the bank will work closely in order to find solutions to the latest problem. Now, let me take a step back now. This was the latest update that we had for you. Let me take a step back now and come to what is the core issue or what caused the entire mess at Kotak Mahindra Bank. In the morning as well, we brought this exclusive to our viewers that there were 5 main points or main issues that the RBI faced with Kotak Mahindra Bank. We have that on screen for viewers. One is the scalability. The next is multiple outages. Third is the detail of these outages. Fourth is the inadequate tech infra. And fifth is an additional contributor to the issues, that is the high volume UPI transactions. If we have to go in depth for all these points, one would be the scalability of the core banking system at the core of this issue. Now, sources told us that while the IT audits or inspections were going on for last 2 to 3 years at Kotak Mahindra Bank, the scalability of the core banking issue or the inability of the core banking system to come to a scale level in order to handle the bulk of these transactions was at the core of this issue.
Understand this is important, and let's understand this point by point and in simple terms. When you say scalability, essentially the rate at which new customers are coming on versus what the system could handle was just a complete mismatch, isn't it?
Yes, that's what sources made us understand in simple terms, that the system was not at least in terms of size or efficiency, was not equipped enough. The customer onboarding or the number of transactions and the volume of transactions was much larger than what the system could actually handle. In fact, we have an instance also here on our screen as an example. Sources told us that about 30 to 40 hours of outages were being reported in a year.
Say outages, that means at that point the customer cannot access their account, apps, etc. Is that the impact of outages?
Yes, in broader terms, yes, we can say that. That would be an umbrella way to put it, because these outages, when we are saying 30 to 40 hours of outages, these outages are a broad umbrella word. Why? It can include inadequate UPI transactions, transaction failure, inability to log into the mobile banking app, and so on and so forth.
You know, you talked about the management's commentary. I'm just wondering if they're saying anything or explaining anything on why they couldn't fix it all of this time. Because that's really the question. It's a large bank.
Yeah. So what we have gathered so far is that they did have multiple action plans in place, and they were submitting those reports to the RBI, and there was a constant conversation happening between the regulator and the bank. In fact, sources also told us, it's a very interesting point, Tamanna, that they said that they were on the verge of completing all the changes that they had planned to introduce, but the clampdown happened right before that. So while we don't have the exact details of the timeline, but they did indicate that to us.
No, I mean that's like saying, you know, I couldn't finish my exam paper before the invigilator took away the paper. I mean, the fact is that when the bell rings, and the RBI has decided to clamp down. We'll come back to you for more Pragati, but meanwhile, let's get our conversation going. We're joined now by Abhisar Divanji of EY India Financial Services Leader.